And there's our recording. So this is the second session. We're doing the Chill 3rd Edition Quick Start adventure. We have 3 investigators with us. Pat, you are?
Maria Gallegos.
And how would you describe her?
She's a mom, and she really loves her kids, and she loves kids in general. She's a people person. So that's why she joined SAVE, because she wants to save others from the horror she witnessed when she was younger.
Awesome. John, you are?
Jennifer Joyce.
Okay.
Investigative journalist. Driven to find out all the secrets.
Get behind the scenes. All right. And Jason, you are?
I am playing Basil B.B. Bottomley, who is a bounty hunter from the Australian outback.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty much him. But he's not a Crocodile Dundee. We established that last time.
He's very firm that we established that he believes Crocodile Dundee stole his story. BB, in point of fact.
So the system again is percentiles. Rolling under a target number. You're looking, if you have doubles change things up. And if you roll under more than half of the skill, then that's a better success. And we've got all that on the cheat sheet. The one thing I do want to point you to again is in the folder, you'll see the Chill 3E tracking document. Those are the tokens which you can invoke. Essentially, you can turn one of those tokens dark, meaning it comes over to my side, that I can use them to add 10 to your test before or after, save the life of somebody, but you turn all currently light tokens dark. You can reduce trauma done to you, physical or mental, and some of your stuff requires the activation of an art. So right now, you have one token that's light, so you can turn that, and also the gray ones are open for you to turn dark. So you've got essentially 5 out of the 6 there. And then if you see me change those up, it means that I'm doing bad stuff on my side of the screen. Okay?
Okay.
It's my hard move currency is what it is in this game. So we'll start from there. So last time, the group was called in missing persons here in Middleburg Heights, southwest of Cleveland. And Reuben Hall, gone missing, taken / left from his room in the middle of the night. The investigator had a supernatural weird feeling, brought you in. You investigated the site, saw that he had clearly something strong had opened that window, but that he had also followed. You got the sense the dog had been disturbed, but no one heard anything. Very unusual. And you talked to the sister of Reuben Hall and talked to the parents and got a set of information. And then as you were leaving, something occurred at dusk and everyone forgot. Except for you 3, everyone forgot about Reuben Hall, even the parents there. You found that unusual, as you might. And so you kind of started to look into that. You found that there was another missing person case a number of years ago, a kid, and the same thing where it seems clear that the cops forgot about it. Also found traces of maybe dog hair. There was some unusual footprints and signs there. There was a weird calloused child's foot on the swing. You went over across the road, and when you split up. So it was at that point that Jennifer Joyce headed to do research at the police station / newspaper office to get more info on things, and found out some details about possibly the supernatural force involved. And we cut from that to Basil and Maria in this woods. They found some strange evidence on a tree, those animals and birds and things nailed to the tree, and a very weird sort of sense of palpable evil there. And then you heard something, a growl in the distance. Have I missed anything crucial?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay. So, Jennifer, I'm going to start with them first. Let me ask you how you want to play this, John. Do you want to be continuing to research, to do further research, or do you want to, be heading back to the scene?
I believe we actually ended with me saying that I was going to, or calling or texting, I think, actually, right in a crucial moment. I believe that they received the text to alert the monster to their presence, where I was inquiring about, hey, do we all want to go back, meet at the hotel, and talk about what we've all discovered, blah, 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 get some food and drinks, blah, blah.
So you guys got that text, you heard that growl. Basil, Maria, you're standing there as you hear that, and then it gets very, very quiet.
Maria is actually up in the tree.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. It gets super, super quiet. Any animal sounds, birds, everything, any sort of even bullfrogs in the distance, it all just goes quiet.
I like yell whisper, yell whisper down the tree. Baby, did you hear that?
And when you do that, you make no sound.
Oh, I can't even hear myself?
Right. You go to do that to talk.
Yeah.
And it makes no sound.
So I imagine that freaks me out. And I'm like, la, 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 la. I'm just like trying to make all these vocal sounds. And I guess I can't hear them.
Right. Basil, Maria's gone up into the tree. You've got this text thing, but now you're not hearing anything from Maria up there.
Yep. So this is right after the howling has occurred too, right?
Yeah.
Like there was a howl.
And now it is.
So I think what makes sense in this circumstance is for Basil to come to a quite logical conclusion that Maria is staying quiet on this thing, because that is what makes sense. And I will follow her lead because she is a great leader. And I too will hide. I'm not going to climb a tree. Better at being sneaky down here in the underbrush.
Okay. Basil, can I have you make a perception check?
You can have me make a perception check. I will go ahead and roll that.
Okay. And I will pull up Dice Stream.
I currently cannot call on my Everyone Deserves Justice, even if I wanted to, because I am the only one who called on that last time. So, but I used it to make a roll, just so we're clear on that.
Okay.
All right, so 92. I'm going to be pretty sure without checking that I failed real bad. I think my perception's like a 55. Let me have a look here. Blah, blah, blah. My perception is exactly a 55.
All right. So I'm going to tell you what happens. And then we're going to kind of go in stamina order. Jennifer, no one's replied to your text yet. We'll come back to that. So Basil, you're there. And then you feel that sort of motion by you, where the air shifts, and something hits you hard across the back of your leg.
Okay.
And it hits hard and it cracks in, and it's actually going to do 2 ranks of injury, which will take you to minor.
right. So I'm. All right. There it is. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm rolling with a -10 on things right now.
Yes, and essentially it hit
All right.
across the back of your leg, and something gave, like in the bone or something, and it caught. Whenever it hit, caught, and then kind of pulled, and you'll probably drop to one knee. You will see just sort of in the flicker, what little light you have from the stars and the moon. There is a smallish figure, and probably what you'll mostly see is the claw hammer that it has in its hand that it has pulled out of the back of your leg and is spraying blood.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with Maria, because I'm going to let Maria make a perception check to see the motion after this occurs. And she has a higher stamina of you two.
Okay. No, that's not a pass.
Okay.
Perception 65.
So I will tell you that Basil has gone quiet. You've gone quiet. You've got that text. What would you do at that point?
I'd probably just be looking around. Like, can I see him? Could I see what happened or no?
You kind of look down, but again, it's dark. You didn't see it. So you check around, look. You got the little bit of light, maybe your light of your phone, but you're not seeing anything. So we're going to cut down to Basil. What do you do?
I think because I already had the bullet in my hand that I roll away and then come up and try to bullet the damn thing.
Okay. All right. So it's going to make a reflex check against your bola check there, which is pretty damn high.
It is pretty high.
Yeah.
There's a reason I wanted my bola out.
All right. So go ahead and make that roll.
All right. So 47.
Mm-hmm.
With the -10, my bola skill is 110, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
So that will be a high result on that. And the defense was it dodged on this round. So you wing it. Essentially, it comes across this thing, kind of hits, probably knocks it down. There's that as the bola balls smack into something. But you can tell that it is still up. This sort of evil, can tell that there's a glint, there's an evil thing there, maybe 10, 15 feet away, but it's very hard to see here right now. Okay?
Okay.
That is where the situation is at. So, Jennifer, they still haven't texted you back.
Well, I will call back my taxi, and since they haven't answered, I'll go back to the scene.
All right, and that seems reasonable. We're doing that sort of movie montage where you're going faster than you ought to in that. So let me check one thing here, and.
I'll probably be flipping through a notebook, like, doing the "it happens at sunrise. What monsters work at sunset, sunrise?"
This thing. We're going on to this next round, and this thing comes at you again, Basil. Top of this round, and goes to swing at your head with this hammer. Again, the claw side facing you. And again, it's a blur, but it doesn't land the blow. Comes by like it just edged out and missed when it came to swing at you. Maria? Do you want to make another perception check, or what do you think she would do? I'd certainly give, if you want to turn a token dark, I'd let you just know that there's somebody down there.
Well, I think I'd probably already be freaking out that I'm not getting any communication back from BB.
Okay.
And I'd probably cautiously climb back down the tree towards him while still calling out, knowing that I can't hear myself. I don't know if he can hear me.
Let's have you make a climbing roll.
It's a 90. It's
Ooh,
a
what is
close
your
success.
Oh, just holy cow. So you don't get down there fast, but you do get down there safely. Basil, you're trying to track this form, and then sort of out of the corner of your eye, you can see that Maria is coming down the tree. What do you do?
Is it reasonable to suggest that Basil might have a flashbang?
I'd let you turn a token dark to do that.
And if I'm going to use a turn token dark, I'm going to heal these levels because I can do that. So, I mean, at this point, I'd just keep going. It just seemed like a thing a bounty hunter might have, but I never said it last time. So, yeah, I think I'm going to, I know Maria's coming down, so reinforcements are on the way. I think I'm going to slip on my brass knuckles and go for the fisticuffs.
Okay. Then please to make a unarmed combat attack.
Ha! I rolled a 2.
Oh, so that's a high success. So this thing clearly has seen Maria coming down, and that maybe catches its attention, and you will land this blow. You hit something, this child's face, and there's kind of an oily feeling on your hand when you do that, and this thing spins around. You still can barely make it out, but there's something just cold and Icarus on your hand right now.
Well, that's exciting. And gross.
Yes, it is. So on this following round, Maria, you actually have initiative because of her stamina penalty.
Can I now see Basil and his assailant?
I will say, yeah, you're close enough that you can see that Basil is swinging, and there's this dark form. You probably see that Basil is favoring his leg. What do you want to do?
Oh, I would definitely run over to try to assist him.
Okay.
If I see he's struggling with something, I would run straight over to him.
Okay. So it is going to attempt to dodge on this round. So go ahead and roll.
I'm assuming I'm rolling unarmed.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and that's a high success as well.
That's a high success. So that blow catches this thing and something gives. Where do you hit it?
I would say I'd probably hit it center mass just because I believe it's, it's getting the better of BB. So I would try to get it away from him. So maybe it was more center mass than trying to actually do massive damage to it. I'm just trying to get it away from BB.
All right. I want you to actually make a resolve check here.
So where's that at? Let's see.
I think it's a stat, isn't it? I'm sorry, you use willpower. They call it resolve, but you use willpower because you couldn't call it a willpower check.
And that's a high success too.
So there is that thing when you get up close and you kind of hit it and you realize that it's this dark form of a child, and that your fist probably cracks a rib and sends it flying back. You wipe the idea of a child out of your mind and realize that this thing is horrible. It actually breaks off into the woods. Like it falls back, and then in a flash, it is running. So dark woods, it's taking off. Basil, what do you want to do?
So I'm going to do the stupid thing and chase it. And to do the stupid thing and chase it, I'm going to tag again that everybody deserves justice because I'm wounded and I'm presuming can't pick up my bola on the way.
Okay.
I would love my bola, but this is I don't want the bonus. What I'm doing is tagging it to do the refresh thing you mentioned before. So I don't recall how that functioned exactly.
So what you would do is you can reduce the damage to your leg. You reduce your wound ranks by 1 by invoking that.
Oh, I will happily do that to reduce my wound ranks by 1 by invoking that.
It's a 1 for 1 because when you invoke that, it's essentially the effect of turning a token dark.
Okay.
So the check to chase this thing in the dark woods that it knows very well, and it's super fast. Let me get to that note here. Just making sure you understand where you are. But I think Basil does.
Basil has tracked the thing this far. He's not going to let it get away. Not when there's justice to be had.
All right. I am going to have you make a movement check. I think movement is on the sheet. Is it on there? Right. So, movement is an agility-based skill.
Okay.
And
so I have a 55.
Okay.
And I have rolled a 1.
Oh. You guys both have high successes. So you both book out deep into the woods. But you are on this thing's tail. And we cut back to Maria, and you can hear now. And didn't hear anything during that fight, and now Basil has run off into the dark. What do you want to do?
Well, I guess I have to chase after him. But I'm like hollering at him like, what are you doing? Slow down, and maybe I pull out my phone and I'm trying to text Jennifer at the same time I'm running, so it's probably like a bunch of bad spelling and duplicate letters.
Okay. Let's have you make a movement check. So Jennifer, you'll probably get a weird, maybe it's an encoded message, just as you're getting there. So let's do Maria's check. Then we're going to sort of do this round, and we'll bring Jennifer in at the sort of end of this round, movie logic wise.
It's a 47.
So is that a high success?
No, it's a regular, barely.
So part of the problem is you've got all these woods around you and brush and so on. You don't know, it's dark. You don't know this place. Basil was just barreling through. He heedless of any of that, letting the branches come smashing past him. You're a little more cautious, a little bit slower, and they do lose you in part because they're not making any sound.
Okay.
So Jennifer, you're paying the Uber driver as you get this text.
Now, what was it with the extra spelling?
It looks like it's very badly spelled. Like somebody was maybe playing with the keys or was mucking around or was running.
But what was the original intent? I just want to make sure I know.
I believe the original text was meant to say "in pursuit."
Okay, but misspelled, so it's in Poughkeepsie. In police. But the car is still here, right? So
yes.
I will sling my notebooks away, and I will pull out of my camera bag. Unlike the phone users, I actually carry a mag light, and I will go off to the back of the house because I'm assuming since they're still here, that's going to be my start. Is I'm going
Okay.
to go from the back, try to hear if there's noise. I'm like, where are you?
So the back of the hall house?
Yes.
Okay.
'Cause
All right.
I believe that was the start of where they were going to go when I left them. So
Exactly. So we cut around. Maria, you're sort of the first person on this round because you're the highest stamina with the effect. And you've kind of lost them. What do you want to do?
I think I'm gonna stop, catch my breath,
Okay.
and I can't hear them. So I'm imagining that there's an aura around this creature that shuts down sound. So I want to see if I can hold back to where I can regain sound, and maybe I'll actually like call Jennifer.
Okay. So you can easily move back since they're way ahead of you, and you can call her. So you're getting a hold of her. We'll come back to that conversation in just a second. Basil, deep in the woods, you don't know where Maria is. You're out here by yourself. This thing is running fast, but you are hot on its heels. So it's going to keep running. What do you want to do?
I think so. There's a couple options here. I think that the go for is like a flying tackle situation, if that's a possibility.
Okay. So
yeah,
we'll do that check versus this thing's reflexes. So go ahead and make your unarmed attack check. I'll actually roll this out for you rather than using the check-off cheat.
It's all good. I fail. And I fail on a double.
So you will go to flying tackle, and when you do, it jags, and you go face first into one of these pine trees. That bark and that sap will kind of hit into your face. You'll take a level of trauma from that.
Okay.
And
I just got rid of that.
It keeps going. It just off into the dark. Let me copy. Paste. Okay. So you kind of hit that. You feel your eye starting to swell. It's taking off. We're going to cut back to Jennifer and Maria on the phone.
Jennifer, can you hear me?
yes, where you guys at? I'm at the back of the house.
No. We're in the woods. You got to keep going back farther, like from the back of the house. Just keep going straight until you get to the woods, and we're back there. Look, I think Basil's hurt, and he just went tearing ass after this thing into the woods. I guess like crazy Australians do. They just chase stuff that hurts them. Look, you need to get over here.
Somebody's gonna get shot. I know it. Don't let it be you. And I start running.
So you'll have to get to the woods. You from the house. You actually have to cross that street and get over to the other side with the other houses and stuff. And so you'll get over to there. Maria, do you want to hold position? Or do you want to fall back to where Jennifer's at?
Yeah, I'd probably fall back and hopefully be able to retrace my my trajectory into the woods so I could go back.
There are those two big pines that you guys had pointed out to you, and as you kind of crunch up and see Jennifer coming, probably see her light, you will see that Basil's bolo is laying there in the pine needles.
I'll go pick it up and be like, look, we need to go find him.
Basil, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
It's now you can hear stuff.
So the creature is no longer within sight?
No.
All right. I think Basil sighs in frustration. But I better check back in with my team. So I'm going to go ahead and call them up.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll assume you're moving your way cautiously, carefully back to where they're at. You can give them a call. So you guys can communicate.
As long as I keep track of where I chased it to, yeah. Yep.
We described you as cutting through the brush, so you probably can easily trace your path back. I will have you make a perception roll for me here.
As long as I don't get another hammer, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and make that perception.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, I got a 96.
That's okay.
So at least it's not a double.
Yeah. Again, you don't know exactly where you are. You're able to fall back, but it's hard to tell where this thing was headed.
Yep.
Because it was kind of angling around, but you're not sure what the landscape is around here. So you guys can communicate via phone now.
Yep.
Baby, are you
Little
okay?
Blighter got away. Of course I'm okay. I'm BB Bottom. But look, mate, the thing is just run straight away into the forest.
Well,
I don't know if
probably
we can
not a
track it
forest
again.
creature. It's probably not a forest creature. From what I've read, it's probably going
Oh,
to
you learned that on Google, did you?
That's correct. I totally Googled it. And it told me that you are indeed Crocodile Dundee, and that this creature is probably linked to an old woman, possibly an old house in this area.
Look, we need to
Old
regroup.
house.
Look, we need to regroup. Throw all
Yeah,
our
let's all
information
get
that we have
together.
Well, did you grab one of the surveyor's maps or something like that? Like, it's an old house, right?
I did not grab
So-
a surveyor's map. I do have a map of the area, but it's not that kind of a map.
Right.
But I mean, you're dismissing Google, but we do have Google Earth, and we could pull up some pictures, zoom it in. We could see houses in this area if we wanted.
So I'm going to assume you guys have met back at the tree. Does that seem reasonable?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. Basil, you can see he's going to have a shiner.
Got you good, didn't he? And I hand Basil back his bolos.
Oh, thanks. Character.
You should probably use those next time before you go running.
I did use them.
From the
You
east,
blind, mate.
you'll actually see there's towards the street side, there's a flashlight coming this way. See the beam of a flashlight walking over here.
Well, I'll greet their flashlight with my flashlight.
You'll see this guy. He looks like he's thrown on, pants, but he's kind of got a pajama shirt on, and he's pulled up a jacket, or probably not a jacket because we described it as being, midsummer. And he's got his flashlight, and he's got a baseball bat, and it says, "Who are you?" It's kind of a little wary because he clearly didn't expect to see three people here.
Jennifer
Who are
Joyce.
Who are you? We're not the only ones wandering the woods in the middle of the night. Who are you?
Well, I was just, I'm the Tom McKenzie. I live in a house over there. And I was out having a smoke, and I saw the big maglite beam in here, and I wanted to see what it was because there's been some stuff.
Okay.
But
There's been
clearly,
some
like
stuff.
he's clearly like backing up because he kind of doesn't want to know what's going on now. He clearly expected kids or something.
Well, he ain't getting away that easy. So I will approach him and lower the beam so it's not like I'm not like shooting it in his face or anything. Like,
Okay.
and what did he say his name was?
McKenzie, Tom McKenzie.
Hey, Tom, I'm Jennifer Joyce. I'm with the Chicago Daily Examiner. Pleasure. Stick out a hand, switch the flashlight to the offhand, stick my hand out to take his.
All right. He'll hold his hand. He'll shake your hand.
But I want to do the now he's trapped. I'm not giving his hand back until our
Okay.
conversation's done. So.
All right. And while that's going on, Basil, Maria, where are you positioning? What are you doing?
I'm just sitting back observing.
Yeah, I guess I've actually got myself turned away because seeing my shiner is probably not real great. So I'm just looking into the woods speculatively and not trying to interview with the professional people person.
And is okay. What's a reporter doing here?
Working on a story, of course. Just some local stuff, but should be interesting. And I'm going to actually start reading him for any, if he's been had any, what is that, Since the Unknown?
Okay.
On you, that's telepathy, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have that delicious telepathy thing. You can roll on the telepathic empathy.
I'm attuning, which is follow the strings, which lets me get the surface stuff. All
right. And I can't remember if there's a roll associated with that. Yeah, it looks like a 75. You want to roll.
Hey, it's exactly a 75.
So this guy is wary. He thought that there would be kids because he's had kids break into his chicken coop, and he was going to give him the what for. And he's a little freaked out because he doesn't know what three adults are doing out here in the woods. That's sort of his surface thought. He's also trying to, like, you're attractive, so he's trying not to look at you straight on.
And it also serves as a high success for Since the Unknown. Has he been directly influenced or anything like that?
He is definitely, like everyone around here, a victim of that memory wiping.
Okay. Well, I am going to try to probably, I guess it's charm. I don't know. It could be interrogation. I want to know if he knows of an old house in the area. So, Tom, we're looking at old houses, like with real characters we want to talk to. Of any place with, like an old man, old lady, house that's been there forever, somebody's been there forever in the neighborhood.
Yeah. He says there's a couple doors down. You follow that it almost looks like a dirt road back. There's an old house there, old farmhouse. I thought there might be people living there, but I'm not sure. Might have been foreclosed on. Yeah, but we don't go there. I mean, I haven't been there. I don't know what's there.
Great, thank you, Tom. We'll try not to shine the light in your windows or anything anymore. Just burning the midnight oil here.
Okay, it's about 10, maybe 10 here, and he'll once you let go of his hand, he'll be like, okay.
I'll give him a card. Give me a call if you see anything interesting.
Okay. He'll take it. You think that's probably enough reassurance that he's not immediately going to go call the cops?
And I have an expense account, so there's probably a 20 folded up on it too.
Okay. All right. So he will walk back towards his house.
Bye, Tom.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Okay.
Let me open up my jacket a little bit. Yeah, okay. See, not so severe. I'm not mean. Bye. Okay, so we want to go to this house or what?
Yeah, we can
We're
go.
going to do this stuff in the daytime.
Well, what do you know about the nighttime, daytime cycles of this thing? I mean, is it powerful at night? I mean, that seems to when it's doing its work.
I don't have a whole bunch on this. We could do more research to get some more information, but for what I got, well, it's not much. But it's definitely tied to the cycle. I was getting the sunset thing, but how powerful it is, I don't know. But it's operating at night. Creatures generally operate when they operate best. So
yeah, it's wounded now, and there's a child. I say we go get it now.
okay, if we're gonna go, I got to get my bow and put away my books. So
Wait, where is your bow?
it's in my luggage in the car.
Oh. I was hoping you didn't leave it in the Uber.
Yep.
No, only the research material. You guys were gonna have to lug my stuff into the rooms when you got at the end.
Well, I'll defer to BB on this one. He seems to be the injured one, so if he's good to go deeper in the night, I'm good to go too.
It's just a scratch.
Yeah,
Makes me look rugged.
Give me a minute. Let me run these books and stuff back to the car. Come back. Just in case there's fighting, I would like to be more prepared than a mag light.
That seems very fair.
Women in their luggage, I swear.
Yeah.
Men shouldn't try to fight trees.
Hey, that tree was looking at me funny.
And you're just at one level of damage, right? Or two?
No, I took another one when I smacked into the tree, so I'm back at minor again.
All right.
So I'm currently minor.
Now, I think he took a trauma when you hit the tree.
Well,
I think he gave you a trauma.
Well, I was at superficial and minor from the claw hammer, and then when I did the stupid thing, I went back to superficial. But then I hit the tree and went back to minor again.
Gotcha.
That's my understanding.
What's the difference between the trauma and the injury? I mean, would he be?
Well, it actually should be injury, is what it is.
Oh,
okay.
Trauma. That's me. They have two terms, two damage tracks. And injury and trauma sound very close to me. I'm used to a more mental one like stress or sanity for that. So yeah, trauma is your mental stuff.
Gotcha.
It's a good one that they need to change the name of.
Yes. All right. So what does this bow look like?
It's a modern compound, the whole 9 yards, all the pulleys, weights, scope, it's a professional shooting bow. It's not.
Do you get your glove on and everything?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I will actually not be running around in the woods with the bow. It does come in a nice case, so I'm just going to actually carry my case so that I can open it. I don't want to walk into somebody, hey, I'm just walking around in the woods with the bow. Hey, the bolos are just weird, but people would identify the bow as an actual weapon.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to be carrying my case. I'll have the quiver on my back, but you know,
you can keep kind of out of sight. All right, so Basil, Maria, and Jennifer, you will walk past these pines, and you're kind of moving through the backyards of a couple of these houses. They're closer up to the street. And you'll walk a ways and get this uneasy feeling, that sense of not welcome. And you'll come out onto the edge of a dirt road that goes back maybe about 70, 80 feet from that street. And you can see that there is a house there. The grounds out front are heavily overgrown. It's rained in the not too distant past, so you probably see a couple of those places where the water has collected. Maybe there's a tarp and it's caught there, and maybe there's a kind of a big puddle. You get that mosquito breeding ground that you get when the water sits there forever. The house is decent size, 2 floors, not good shape. And that's just sort of your superficial glance. I do want to ask, are you guys using flashlights now?
I would have been using a flashlight right up until the point like we're on the road and like we know we're in the area. And then I would probably turn off my flashlight and defer to BB now that we're in hunting mode. At that point, I will also take my bow out of the case.
Okay. BB?
The whole point of not using flashlights before was the idea that we could possibly sneak up on it. However, that is clearly not a thing that is possible, as not only were we not able to sneak up on it, but when I tried to hide, it was already behind me with a claw hammer. So, stealth is apparently not going to be effective. So I think we just use the flashlights.
So I'd like to mention that when we're close to this thing, we're not going to be able to talk to each other. We're not going to be able to yell for help.
What?
So we may need some hand signals or something.
We're not going to
or make sure we have our flashlights and wave them around or something, so you know when the other person's in trouble.
It has
Why aren't we going to be able to talk?
It'll shut you up, Jen. You won't be able to use those magnificent pipes.
I am hooking my flashlight up onto my bow.
Okay.
It has a mount for it, and I'm like, okay, hand signs. Like what would we need to say other than shoot it?
Well, I mean, if things go bad enough, there could be run away.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to, but you might want to. Yeah.
Here's my runaway. I
don't care how we communicate. Just know that we may not be able to. I just want everybody to know that. Okay.
Oh well, that was an important note. I didn't know that it was going to do anything like that.
We should probably not split up then, given that we won't be able to call to each other. So maybe let's stay together on this.
No, I don't. That may be a little hasty saying you shouldn't split up. I just want to,
I think on this one, maybe we stay together.
If you'd want to flip some tokens for us there.
No. Fine. Stay together. So you're kind of at the edge of the woods. You've got your lights. There's that house there. How do you wish to proceed?
I have a question. Did Maria tell us about the animals nailed randomly to the tree?
No, I didn't. I think I'm still kind of freaked out about that, but
that is fair. That was pretty freaky.
I believe that was just some color up that tree.
Well, I think BB's got his bullet back, so he's got them out and ready to go. but he's, he wouldn't be BB if he let other people go in first. So he's still going to go first. Since we can still hear each other, right now we're just investigating.
Okay.
But he will open the door and go on in.
Well, so you're just going to go right up to the front door? Is that what I'm hearing?
It's an abandoned farmhouse, so I think we'll proceed as cautiously as you do when there's a supernatural child creature that eats other children around.
All right. So let me have you make a perception check then.
That's worked out so well recently.
Well, there'll probably be two creatures. That's my thinking.
It worked out as well as it has been. I rolled a 75. I've got a perception of 55.
Okay. So you guys will come up to that front door. You will see old, faded, no trespassing signs. There's sort of junk laying here. There's no mail or anything like that. I mean, the windows are, that kind of muddy dirt caked from wind and time. The door is solid. And kind of when you guys get up onto that front porch, you will hear barking. Like, "Rup, rup, rup, rup," come from deep inside the house. And it carries. So you're up on that front porch, BB. How do you want to proceed with this door?
Well,
You're pretty sure it's probably locked.
there's apparently someone inside. So BB's going to shrug and knock on the door.
Okay. The barking stops.
I think I step forward in my sweetest mom voice, go, "It's okay, honey. You can come talk to us. We're here to help."
All right. That kind of hangs in the air as you say that.
I'm inspired by that to take out an arrow.
Guys are standing on this front porch, and
So, can I try to sense the unknown here?
oh, absolutely. You get a plus 40 to your check to sense the unknown here.
Okay. So that would be 53.
53. So that is a success.
No. That's what I have to roll under. I haven't rolled yet.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's a success.
Okay. Oh, that's a high success. So with a high success on sense the unknown,
That's what you want.
you will let's see this here. There are definitely several things of power in here that you'll kind of reach out and you'll feel sort of here, maybe on the ground floor, things that maybe aren't as potent, but there's something upstairs that is very, very dangerous.
Okay. And I would relay that to my team.
You want to start at the top, work our way down, or the other way?
Well, we don't have the element of surprise, like you said before. Now we definitely don't have it since we knocked on their door.
Oh, that's fine. You think they're right on the other side of that door there?
More than likely. I mean, this house isn't that big, but there's multiples of them.
All right. Well, I say we go for it. Go for it? Go for it? Excellent. So what BB's going to do is he's going to turn and then he's going to super strength kick the door so that it flies backward.
Awesome. So that's invoking that. That's a general check using the discipline.
Yeah, I'm trying to use that would be strength plus 30 from my power.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm trying to do. However, the thing about me using strength is that you get to tell me if there's a possible downside.
The possible downside.
For example, this is literally listed. BB may be strong enough to kick down a reinforced door, but the force of the blow could hurt the character's leg.
Yeah, I'd say actually the danger you have here is more that the house itself is super fragile and probably not sturdy, and so you may make your movement inside more problematic.
We've got ranged weapons.
Oh, yeah.
And we're outside. I'm pretty happy with this decision.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay, Jen, just make that roll.
All right, so I rolled a 13 out of 90.
What does it look like?
So I'm good.
When you do this and when the door goes.
So I think he's all smiling and BB is like, "We're good, good, excellent." And then he just leans back and does just a front kick, but the door, it doesn't really, like, it crumples a little in the middle, but mostly it just kind of does a Evil Dead camera where like the camera stays with the door as it tracks through the house, passes whatever kind of ramshackle thing there is, and then actually flies out the back of the house.
It'll probably impact another wall and kind of embed into it before it can go all the way through. But there's dust and smoke from that everywhere. When he kicks that in, what do you do, Maria?
I just look at him, kind of cock my head. Like, probably overdid it just a little bit there, but whatever, got the job done.
Let's see Crocodile Dundee do that. Ha!
Damn!
So, shall we go in? I'm probably just clenching my fist because I don't have weapons. I just fight with my hands if need be.
You want to move in, Jennifer? Maria?
As long as BB's in front. I'm down with that. He has magical healing. I don't.
So you guys will step into the house, kind of a front foyer room. There's sort of shattered stairs that go up. Off to the side, there's sort of like a pocket door that's half slid open, and it looks like there's another room in there. Might be a dining room over that way. So BB, you're going in?
I am. On the way in, I'm going to pick up a ripped bit of door jam and have it in my offhand so that I've got the bola in one hand and an improvised weapon in the other.
All right. So what's everybody's stamina right now?
55.
Maria. Okay. Basil?
I lost 5 from my injury, so I'm at 58.
58. And what about you, Jennifer?
I am fully healthy, and I have a 40.
40. Okay. So here's what happens when you kind of come into that front room. You'll hear probably simultaneously some movement upstairs, but then out from that dining room, Basil, this thing comes flying. This great black hound, probably its shoulder, probably knocks that pocket door in, and it slavering fangs goes to essentially bite and grip your arm. Now,
fair enough.
You still have an action. You can opt to dodge if you wish, or it just rolls to hit.
Can I, since I've got a ranged weapon?
It goes first.
Okay, so that was
And
my question.
Yes, that's a fair question. You can try to do. I think there's an interrupt action. Let's look at that. If you want to interrupt an event or action, make a reflexes check.
All right. So well, the dice haven't always been my friend today, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay.
I'm -10 because of my injury. I guess my reflexes means that I'm rolling under a 40.
Yeah.
You could flip a token.
Wouldn't have done me any good. So 63.
All right. So you will have an action, but you're at half score, and essentially you go simultaneously with it. So you get to roll your attack, and it is also going to roll its attack on you.
Okay.
So
do I get to roll with the bola, or am I rolling with?
You tell me. What do you want to roll with? What are you doing?
I'd rather roll with the bola because I do much better with it.
Sure. You're going to be at half rating on that. So let me resolve its first action, then we'll take your action, and then we'll do its second action.
Okay.
So it will, when you kind of are throwing the bola and it is coming at you with claw and bite, and you're going to take a rank of injury.
Okay.
Okay. Simultaneous, so you don't you take the penalty, and you roll for your bola.
I have half. Is it tricky here? So if I have the minor injury that I have to account for, that's -10. Do I do the -10 before I split in half?
Yeah. I'll be. That seems more generous.
Let me work out what the difference is. So with the bola, -10 would be 110, and half is 55.
That's right.
It's 60 -10, so the 55. Are you serious?
Oh my God. Do you want to turn one of those dark?
I am going to turn a thing dark. I'm going to be a terrible person and do that.
Okay. So it bites, kind of lands on you, even as you kind of probably swing the bola around and smash into it with this, the ball of it hits and it cracks, but it is big and tough, and it's going to try to, let me see here what it wants to do here. Kind of knocked you back. It's going to swing around, and who's the next closest, Jennifer or Maria?
I'm sure probably Maria.
Okay.
Maria probably went in behind BB.
Okay, so this thing then with its second action swings over and it goes essentially to tear a chunk out of your leg.
Do
you wish to
I'll
dodge?
try to dodge. Yeah, I'll try to dodge it.
All right. So you go ahead and make your reflexes. And now, what you can actually use your martial arts to dodge, essentially to defend, if you want.
Okay. So that'd be an 85.
Okay. So that's a low success you got, and I got a high success. So
I haven't rolled yet. I just cleared it.
I'm sorry. I was all excited.
It's an 87. It's actually a fail by 2.
Okay. So it will bite, and essentially it comes by and gives a tear onto your leg. So you'll take one point of injury.
Okay.
I believe that Basil, you took your action to interrupt and hit it. So we're going to cut to Maria.
I'm going to try to, it got a hold of my leg, right?
Right.
So I'm going to try to, get it around the neck, using my mixed martial arts training and, try to grapple it down to the ground, get it in a chokehold.
Okay. So that'll be your martial arts attack. It's already acted, so it can't defend.
Okay. Do I have to roll half? because of the failed interrupt, or
No, this is now your actual action, so it's not an interrupt.
okay. Oh my goodness. Didn't get it that time either.
Okay. So Jennifer.
Well, it would have worked better if there was an actual chokehold. I mean, can I shoot this critter without it being they're tumbling all over the place, and I'm just as likely to put an arrow through Maria?
You're a skilled archer. What are the chances that you're going to roll a botch?
Okay, so the answer is I definitely can't get one. BB's the confident one. But, you only live once. I've got to do it, So here we go. We will try to stick an arrow in it without sticking an arrow in Maria as well.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be fancy dancy, so no, I don't mind actually putting the arrow almost against the critter.
That seems fair.
Okay. And also because why not? I believe that one of those tokens needs to turn dark.
Okay, that'll give you a +10.
Hoo-hoo, look at there, 44. I actually get the critical success.
So that is a colossal success. Okay, and then in that case, I turn one of these tokens light. We do that. Copy. Okay. So we'll turn that page light. All right. So where do you hit it with this arrow?
I was imagining, right in the chest, pinning it, where you would imagine a heart would be, pinning it to the ground. That's that kind of thing.
All right. So this, the action, the sequence is that this horrible black wolf and dog flew out and hit BB as BB smashed it with the bola. It came around, foam off its mouth, bit at Maria. Maria kind of tried to push it back. You kind of bend down, and it sinks in a good 6-8 inches into this thing, and it gives out a horrific yowl. And it calls up from someplace dark. The sound of this thing, when it cries out in pain, hits you to the very core. And everybody would make a willpower check.
That roll. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Does a critical success on a willpower check mean anything?
No. Well, here's what I'll do: is I'll give you a +10 on your action next round. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
So Jennifer, you're going to take 1 rank of trauma, and Basil, you're good, right?
Well, that's my question. My willpower is a 38.
Mm-hmm. Injury doesn't affect.
I get it. Injury doesn't. Trauma affects that, but injury doesn't. All right, I see.
Yeah, it actually affects the things that are adjacent to it in the column, or the row. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I'm fine on that.
Does Maria's Colossal change a token?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, we'll actually flip one of these dark tokens light on that. That's the other effect bonus that you get there. Okay, so the tokens are now evenly split 3 and 3. Let's come around to the top of the next round. It's in very bad shape. It is going to try to bite at you, Maria, and then try to move back. So, actually, no, it'll probably bite the archer. I think it's going to bite you, Jennifer.
No.
Yes. Okay. So it is down quite a bit. So it's rolling with that.
Seriously, everybody else looks much tastier than I do.
It kind of spins around. Probably the arrow kind of catches on something and bends in it. It goes to bite at you, doesn't succeed, and then kind of like a bullet runs back into that dining room, trying to get some space between you and it. I believe Maria has the next action, and then Basil, and then Jennifer.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to like kick its hind legs out from under it. Try to take it off its feet.
Okay, can it move up and try and kick at it? Let's have you make that martial arts attack check.
It's a 12. That's a high success.
That's a high success. You crunch into this thing. What does that blow look like when you land it?
Well, since I was aiming at its hindquarters, because knowing most dogs don't like their hindquarters messed with, I was aiming for that to just try to take away its movement. But if I did more damage than that, then that was by accident.
Okay, so here's what happens. You, Basil, you're kind of coming. Maria comes past you, kicks this dog on the hindquarters, sends it spinning, and it hits the wall right where the arrow is in it, and it goes deeper into this thing, and it will shudder and collapse. And you'll see it begin to rot. You can see the rot and corruption start on this thing. And you will hear from upstairs, "Who's in my house?" Basil, what do you want to do?
So, quick question.
Yes.
Magical healing powers.
Mm-hmm.
So what it says is that I would recover 10 trauma in terms of stamina, right? It lists it in terms of stamina.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know if that means that I would move from serious back to minor.
Well, that's a very good
Only
question.
the penalty is the same thing as the stamina, and it's unclear on my sheet. I presume so because otherwise your bookkeeping gets a little insane.
Yeah, I think you'd probably just move it up one of those ranks on those if you had injury or trauma. Right. Yeah.
All right, so super not interested in rolling with a minus 20 for the rest of the time. Not that I particularly want to turn a thing dark, you guys, but
you want
back
to turn
to a
the
minus
thing
10 if that's our. You're gonna have to do it in order to get the back to a minus 10 instead of a minus 20.
Maria has a edge that's emergency medic. How do you apply that? Can you apply that like once a session or?
Well, I would say, I mean, it's going to take. It's not going to be rapid, but if you want to stop and take a couple minutes, you could certainly bandage up and recover wounds.
Yeah, I might do that for Basil because he's obviously pretty injured.
This would be a good time to do it
He's
as
a little
well,
messed up.
because Jennifer is taking this moment to go.
All right, so you guys are
Weak stomachs.
Sort of stopping and kind of are you staying here in this area, or are you falling back? Where are you doing this medic? Because it take a couple minutes.
I think while she's doing the medicine, I'm saying, Jen, go talk to her. Buy us some time. She's just gonna wrap me up a little bit. She just cut me. It'll be good.
Well, Jennifer probably first went to pull the arrow out, and then as the dog's body like explodo rotted away from it, that's when she had her weak stomach moment, and added to the decor of the house with her flight food. But once that,
leave it alone.
Seriously, talk to it without everybody else. Hello,
Jennifer, you don't have to talk to
talking to you.
All you got to do,
No, go talk.
Don't listen to Baby. Don't listen to Baby. I just need you to just keep an eye out.
And it gets quiet.
Hello, miss.
Nope, it gets quiet. All right, so right now, when that happens, you are working on bandaging BB. Okay, BB, did you still want to do the power or not? I changed it back, but I wanted to see if you wanted to wait until after she rolls.
No, I'm gonna let Maria do her thing because I actually do trust Maria.
Okay.
Although got quiet as proof that Basil's plan was the right plan.
Maria, go ahead and make that medicine roll for me.
Okay, what am I rolling against here?
Oh, let's see what the skill is. Do you have a? I don't have a medicine skill, so I think it'd be. Do you have a medicine skill?
No, I don't.
Okay, then it's going to
edge.
It's an edge. Emergency medic's an edge. It says 1 CP.
Oh,
what does that mean?
So what you can do is, let's see, how we're going to do that. They don't have that on there. Let's say that because it's an edge, let's just say that, yeah, you can heal a rank if you take the time. How does that sound?
That'll work.
Does that work for you, Jason, for BB?
Yep.
Okay. So what kind of emergency med pack do you have on you? Is it like a real Army field thing or, CVS, Walgreens?
Yeah, it's like a home bot. Something you would buy it at the corner store, first aid kit. But it's got everything a mom needs to fix scrapes and bruises and.
Perfect. So
I got a quick question, Lowell.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the drive on your sheet? Like, how does that play in anything?
Sure. No. So what a drive does is it's something that you can invoke once per session. Let's see, how does this go here? Let me get that. Got it on the sheet, I think. Call your drive once per session to do the effect of turning a token dark without turning one. So you can do that effect, whatever you would normally have, by sort of invoking that's what you're using.
Gotcha.
You can also have it cause problems for you, and then you'll turn a token light.
Okay.
You can do that once per session. So BB, she's wrapping up the bandages on you. You're in that sort of dirty, dusty front room. She's getting that on you. Jennifer has moved past to go in and get her arrow. And you start to hear the sound of vomiting, and then that cuts out. Jennifer, I need you to make a perception check for me. Is that enough? What's your perception? You're muted.
Sorry, 39 success. My perception is 55.
So there's that moment when you've got that and you're kind of starting to pull yourself back, and it gets quiet, and you kind of look up, and you will see that there is this blackened child, like maybe 8, maybe 9, with a claw hammer in its hands that's sort of covered in blood and gore, and it is crawling on the ceiling just above you to drop down on you.
I will activate my power.
Oh.
And I'm going to turn the thing dark.
Okay.
And even though there's no sound, I will let, which one? I could let one of them know, or I could talk directly to it. I think I'm going to talk directly to the kid and say, and tell her, stop. She might freak out because she's not expecting, there's no sound. And
that's interesting. That's interesting. Let's have you do that. Let's have you roll that telepathic skill. We'll test that against her current stat. How's that sound?
Okay. That's a normal success.
So you get into her head and kind of speak that, and you'll see her eyes go kind of wide and red, and uh, you just, for a second, see this image of a child sort of standing in a yard. Seems like it's old, maybe 10, 20 years ago.
Can I
And
say the name of the kid that I did the research from 1974?
yeah, you'll probably, even if you say that, you probably hear someone from the house calling her name. She's catching fireflies, and then you see her just kind of start wandering a little too close to the woods. And you get that sort of image come back. And while you startle her with that, she does drop down to claw at you.
With the claw hammer?
Yes. She's going to try and put it in the top of your skull.
Well, I would like not to have that happen.
Okay. So I'm going to roll. So she will, it doesn't sink deep, but she definitely bounces it off the top of your head. You're going to take 1 rank of damage.
Okay.
Okay. So I think now where the order is, I believe Basil, Maria, Jennifer for the rest of this round based on stamina. So Basil, you won't hear that, but you'll see Jennifer drop in the other room with that thing.
I think I'm gonna go them.
Okay.
Is that a little blighter with the hammer again?
Yeah. And now that you've got a little bit of light, you can see that it's like made of gnarled skin and blackness. You can see that it has fingernails that are dirt and blood encrusted. The hair is long and just oily, and it is not of this world anymore. If it was a child, it's not.
It's not now.
It has become a servitor. It has become a servant to this thing.
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
The thing I most want to do is to rip that hammer out of its hands.
Okay. Make an unarmed combat.
All right. I wish I was better at unarmed combat, but here we go. Oh, I still have something there. All right, let's get rid of that. I will tell you what, you guys.
Turn the token dark.
Yeah. I rolled a 55. My close quarters combat is a 63. So I'm minus 10 right now, so it's 53. Put token dark to do it, but I think it is worth doing.
Bump up the task number required so that becomes a colossal success. What happens to me, because you get that, and do you strike her with that same motion, or you just want to get the hammer away?
I think because it's an unarmed success, I think that she gets striked with the same motion.
Okay.
But I think he picks up the whole kid because she's only a kid, rips out the hammer and then just takes her and flips her and smashes her down into the ground.
Okay. And it is like a sack when you pick her up and swing it around and hit, and it's like a sack of bones, and you'll hear the crackling as it hits, and this thing will go still. Maria, what are you doing?
Yep.
Colossal success turned to token light.
Do I know if this thing's dead or not?
You'll look at it. This thing isn't moving. It's clearly much like the dog. It's whatever supernatural force it has animating it has been extinguished.
I would probably kneel down beside it, and I'd pull out my rosary and say a little prayer for it, knowing my Catholic heritage.
The problem with this thing, you can kind of see the outlines of where maybe it was a kid, maybe but you will do that. As you guys are kind of there, you'll hear creaking at the back of the house.
The sound
So we can hear
dampening's
again.
gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so my scream kind of trails off. But then I will pick up my fallen bow, put my glasses back on, hold my head with cigarette still in the hand, and aim my bow like one-handed, so it's aiming the flashlight towards the back of the house.
The room you're in here, as she's swinging the flashlight around, you can see it was a dining room. There's dusty Corel plates on there, mismatched silverware. It's all kind of gummy and dust covered. Maybe some piles of old newspapers there off in the corner, like maybe a couple of old litter boxes that have been sitting there for 30 years. It's just this horrible look. It looks like there's a swinging door that must go into the next room, into probably the kitchen.
I say we clear out this ground floor before we head upstairs. Maybe we can bring her down here.
It sounds like something's moving back that way.
Right.
Everybody catch their breath.
Well,
Gird your loins. All right. BB, are you leading the
my
way
loins
again?
are always good. Yeah, BB lead the way.
Okay. How does BB go through like a swinging door? It's a swinging door into this room. How does, you're a bounty hunter. What's your approach here?
I think since we know something is it depends on how much swing it's got. I think his impulse will be to push it forward and let it swing back the other way towards us, and then hold it open that way.
Okay. So you push it. It has a give. The spring. You'll hear the gling, gling, gling. When a rusty spring goes, that sound pushes, and then it'll come back, and you'll kind of catch it. And you can see that there's like a nook here. There's like some garbage bags seated in the breakfast nook. You kind of turn from there, and there's a kitchen. Filthy. The taps on the sink are torn off. You can see that there are 3 doors here. One of them clearly goes outside. That's sort of the back door of the house. Another one looks like it's like a servant's door, like for the back stairs. And it's probably still doing this. And then there's another door that's just slightly ajar. It looks like it must lead down into the basement.
Right.
What's the plan?
It's on Zillow. Location.
I say we draw them out to here right now.
You think we make noise, make him come to us? All right.
It was a her, wasn't it?
Well, we're talking
Multiples.
the voice upstairs was a her. Right now, we're probably looking at another servitor, and we've already encountered the 2 servitors we know of, so it's a servitor that we don't know.
Well, I will say,
Which kind of sucks.
because of Maria's role before, she could identify that there were 2 lesser beings and 1 stronger being here.
Oh, all right. So it's just the one.
So it's just one left, the stronger being?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So probably in the basement.
Do you want to go to the
that's
basement?
exciting.
No, I don't want to go to the basement. You want to go to the basement?
Look, she's not going to come back here, mate. You have to deal with it. Look, it's going to wait for us to go. So it'll be like, oh, sunshine, yay. Plus, it's probably got the kid in the basement.
And when you say
Stash the
that,
kid.
you'll hear, no, 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 from the basement.
I grab BB. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, it's pretty much even the chicken of the team is going at that point.
Okay, so Basil, you're the first to sort of hit that, or Maria?
Normally, I would be the first.
I think,
if Marie,
yeah, I would think
Push that
Maria
drive.
actually was the quickest. As soon as she heard the kid, she might have been the first through the door.
So you'll hit that set of stairs there. I'm going to have you make a movement roll.
All right. It's a success. Actually, it's a colossal success.
Oh, okay. So I will turn. Gosh darn it.
things had to go our way eventually.
Yeah. So you hit that stairs. There are some a couple of missing stairs, and you go over those, kind of hit the bottom, and you can see just sort of by the light that you've got, it's a sort of old style, sort of empty basement, that kind of dirt floor. It looks like there once was maybe a furnace here. It's kind of like got the coal chute there. Looks like all the piping has been torn out. But on the far side, you will see there is this crone. She's got a teal and brown and yellow, like smoke yellow Afghan, and these long nailed fingers. And you'll see that she's standing by what must be like a little crawl space in the basement. And you can see that she's running her fingers through the hair of this little boy. She's kind of pulled him out, and she's doing that, and she's looking at you.
I think as soon as I hit the bottom of the stairs, like, I mean, just seeing that, the sheer terror would, like wash over me. I'd like almost freeze. But as soon as I saw the child and her hand on the child, it would turn immediately to complete anger and hate towards her.
So you get that rage up. Who is next down the stairs? Is that Basil or is that Jennifer?
It's probably BB, unless Jennifer insisted on pushing past him.
No.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll assume that you two can kind of start down the stairs. This old woman, we're about to go to initiative here. She will take one of those dirty fingernails, and she does this with it. And let me turn one of these light, and her roll is that. You will take 2 ranks of damage. Essentially, when she does that, Maria, you'll feel the skin on your neck split and open up.
Okay, so I take 2 ranks.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that I'm falling to my knees and I'm grasping at my throat and gargling. It's pretty bad.
Okay. So what's everybody's current stamina right now?
53.
53?
30.
30?
50.
50. Okay. So Basil, you'll see that. She does that, and you see the blood spurt out of Maria's neck as she kind of drops. What do you want to do?
I want to leap down and smack the old lady hard on her. Okay.
Oh, okay. We're going to take up with you smacking hard. We'll take a quick bio break here, and then we'll come back to smack. 5 minutes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Lil, is this adventure that you're running us through, that's actually in the core book, or
That's in the quick start.
oh, it's in the quick start?
Yeah. It's an interesting system. The psychic rules have a lot of text to them.
I guess the only problem I'm really having with the quick start is that there's things on the sheet that they don't explain,
Oh my god!
like the edges and
Yeah, there's nothing in there
So-
about that. So, I had the same problem with Cora Loris when I ran that they had all these advantages on the sheet and no explanation.
Yep. I don't know. I've been playing campaign online, and edges are so important to that I can't imagine just writing the name of it. So I always paste like the whole text and just make it 8 points so that it doesn't take up huge space, but I can read what the hell it does. I do the same thing in Worldwide Wrestling. I like always copy and paste the whole move. So
Yeah, it's a very strange choice on their part, but it's actually pretty well put together. A few gaps. As I'm reading more quick starts, I'm seeing more gaps and learning what to look for.
As far as I could tell it from reading it, seems like the edges and drawbacks are basically token manipulators, and that's it.
Yeah, certainly the drives are. I think that the edges and drawbacks might be that, but it also feels like they might be things that have some special rules to them. I just don't know.
well, they have CP, which would be character points.
Right.
So they have a cost associated with them. And then there's also the history, which is interesting, but I presume the history has a game effect. But I don't know.
Yeah. In any case, so Maria staunching the bleeding at her neck, and the old woman holding the head of this child and gesturing with her other hand. BB, you and Jennifer are on those stairs. Maria's at the base of the stairs, a big, long basement room. Again, piping's all gone down here. You see the furnace is there, but it's dead. Maybe some other boxes and junk down here. What do you want to do, sir?
My plan is to leap down and smack the wrist that is next to the kid real hard. So she has to release the kid. I have this handy claw hammer that I just acquired.
Okay.
And however, I am better with blunt, and I would use blunt anyway. So I'm using the hammer side.
Let's have you do that. Make that roll.
I hope I do. 18. My normal score is a 93. Minus 10, it's 83.
Oh, yeah. So here's what happens is you hit her arm, and her arm moves as much as from your strength and physical stuff, but you can tell that it doesn't affect her. And her arm just comes down sort of from habit and pushing, and she probably will run a scratch across the kid's face as the claws come down.
All right.
But you can see that physical blow in and of itself had no effect.
That's all right.
It's all right?
That's all right. Just trying to get the kid free.
Absolutely.
Also educational.
I think that Maria is next.
So maybe I just saw BB swing a hammer to no effect. I wouldn't probably run in. That wouldn't make much sense. She physically.
You might do it to save the kid.
Yeah, I mean, I might, but trying to see. Could I take a look around the room to see if there's like maybe there's any like ritualistic type stuff around the room?
Sure. I'll let you let's have you make an investigation roll.
Okay, it's gonna be tough considering at minus 20.
No, because that only it only affects us physicals, so it doesn't affect that.
So 33. Nope.
So right now you're kind of seeing red through the haze of this, and you're looking around. There are bits and pieces here. Some things missing, but you don't see anything that immediately stands out to you as a ritual object. Jennifer.
Muted.
Okay. Well, probably bad idea, but I'm going to go with telepathy here.
Okay.
And open up a psychic connection with that woman.
All right. I need you to make a willpower check.
That's a no.
Okay. We'll come back to that in a moment. I need you to make that telepathy check for me.
That's a no.
That's a no.
Yeah, psychic. Yeah, nope.
So you will open up your mind to the psychic maelstrom that is this horrible ancient force. And you are going to take 2 levels of trauma from that as you see all the things that she has done to make these servitors over the years, and all the things, all the rituals, all the blood. She will turn to you, Basil.
Fair enough.
And you see her, essentially she goes like that. Copy. Paste. And we roll. So you're going to take 2 points of damage. Essentially 2 injury.
2 levels or?
Yes, 2 levels.
All right.
And I want you to imagine that you can feel the skin tear there under your clothing, and almost immediately your shirt and your jacket just get wet and heavy with that blood. That was her action. I believe that you're next, BB. You at least got her attention fully on you.
I got her attention. I think what's going to happen is that BB is going to make the hand signal for run away. He's going to scoop up the kid, and he's going to run away. In point of fact, I will use my super strength and kangaroo leap up out of this hizzy.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Let's have you make that roll then.
All right. How many of those things we got, Light? That's a lot of them.
We got 5 of them.
Flip one of them black because -30 sucks.
Well, and don't forget you can always change those after you roll.
Yes, except for what I'm doing is healing.
Oh, okay. So you're going to heal yourself? Or are you going to do the strength thing?
I can do that by flipping the thing. Well, can I do both? Or?
Oh, no, I see what you're doing. Sorry.
Yeah.
I get exactly what you're doing now. That seems reasonable. So you reduce it by 1 level.
And then I'm get myself and this kid out of here.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Now make that feat of strength roll.
All right. Open for the best. 72. All right. So let's see whether or not that actually makes it. My strength with my super strength is 100. I am. What am I at right now?
You down 20?
I'm at -20. So I, in fact, make it.
So you just make it. So you probably grab him. And yes, you get over there and kind of smash yourself into that wall. But you can tell that when you pulled him out of there, he was chained in there. and you'll hear this kind of crack and snap as something gave on the chain that he was attached to inside this crawl space. And he is screaming for dear life. It looks like maybe the chain took his foot off.
It's rough, kid.
Oh my God. Maria.
So did BB go up the stairs, or did he go like through the floor?
Just hit to the mid of the stairs. He did this, grabbed the kid, and there was this wrench, and flung himself super strength across that room. Imagine he's like halfway up the steps now, because he probably smashed through the whatever passes for a banister there. Handrail.
I think I would like maybe follow him up the stairs, but like at the same time try to grab Jennifer to like try to get her head start.
So are you more interested in pushing BB up the stairs or getting Jennifer with you?
I'm more interested in getting the kid out of there.
Okay. So I think that's going to be a movement check to do this, because we got missing stairs, and you want to do that and not lose your balance and get them up there. So make a movement check.
All right. 82, which wouldn't pass because I'm minus 20. So
what is your movement normally?
80.
Oh yeah. So you can. Do you want to hit some of those?
I would have to flip 3 tokens to do it.
But you could also hit your drive for one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could consider it protecting her family. You know, she is projecting on this kid. So yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So that takes care of one of them, right?
Okay. Yep, and then you'd have to hit 2 more to black.
Well, I'd hate to give the GM the upper hand, but I'm going to do it anyways. Yeah, go and flip 2 of them.
Okay. So when you do that, essentially, you will kind of fling yourself, push up through the top of the stairs, and push Basil and this kid up into that kitchen, out of the line of sight of this woman who clearly could have done that, the cutting thing again, and killed one of them. So I'll turn those. Jennifer. So you're alone pretty much in the basement with this old woman.
Yes.
She is looking at you with eyes that are like a shark, and she is clearly going to start moving across the room to you. What do you want to do?
Well, in that whole flood of information, did I get a name?
She has no name. She's a thing. She's an entity of the outer dark.
You should come be with us.
I think the one thing you might have heard in her mind is, they didn't come with anything to hurt me.
Well, I will, since I have, is that mine or his? Oh, let me switch back to mine. Sorry. I want to make sure if I got my success, if I got my bonus, whether or not there was a success or anything. Because I do get a plus 30 to all interview and communication. So I'm going to actually, as I'm backing up towards the stairs, not at any of the speed, I am letting them go. And I'm kind of like interposing myself between them exiting and her. And I will try to talk to her
interesting.
Try to get her to tell me what would be something that would injure her. So
let's have you roll. You're going to want a colossal success.
I am going to want a colossal success. Would it be charm or interview or
God, what's your highest skill?
My highest skill is interrogation.
Then you should probably use interrogation.
And I'm plus 30 to it, so it's 125 right now.
Okay.
But I am injured, so Serious trauma -20.
Yep.
And it's just a basic success.
Okay. So you have her attention, but she is whispering under her breath. You hear her whispering the names of all the children that she's turned, and she is walking towards you. And you're kind of backing up, and you will hear. Let me turn a couple of.
Can I ask a question? If
Sure.
it was 10 higher, John, would you have gotten a colossal success?
No, colossal only happens on doubles. So
Oh, okay.
the best I
That
could
wouldn't
do.
have been major.
Yeah, the best I could do would get to a high success by using 2 tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could also have used your journalistic curiosity is the reason I was asking.
Well, yeah, that is true.
So,
Are we seriously got 5?
well, no, this is 5 now from what she's doing.
Oh, okay.
So she gestures, and Maria, you kind of have pushed BB out into the kitchen, and you will hear that basement door behind you go and slam shut, and you'll hear a bolt go. And then she looks at you, where you're at, Jennifer, and she goes like this and runs her nail across her tongue. And she will do 4 wound levels to you with that colossal success.
Well, that's lethal.
So Jennifer,
I was already at 1, so
what
4
is that?
levels puts me to lethal.
What's the last image in your mind? What's the last thought in your mind? You can also, by the way, if you want to stay alive, you can spend some of those light tokens to eat
All
up
of
some
them,
of
right?
Yep, you have to spend all of them.
You know what? I'm not going to. So, because I want the kid to get out more than I want Jennifer to survive. So, my last thing is, since as soon as the door closes, I don't have an ability to do psychic. So, my free hand is in my jacket, my suit jacket, and I push the thing so it contacts him, and I just like yell, "Go!" And then she gets, and then
Yeah, and blood as she approaches. We see the camera as she's looming to come at your body as you slump down, blood running down. Basil, you've hit that kitchen. You hear that scream through your phone to go. What do you do?
Real quick, just so I'm clear here. Is Jennifer dead and there's no chance?
Yes. She opted not to spend to keep herself alive.
She opted not to spend the things, therefore is dead. I think we just Kool-Aid man our way out.
Okay. So what does that look like when you go barreling through? Describe that to me.
There's still me and Maria, so presumably Maria is following me. And since Batty McGee has been bolting all the doors anyway, I presume that whatever doors there are supposed to be bolted. But it doesn't matter. What happens with Basil is he just kind of curls his body around the kid and just goes right through the drywall, just like
Absolutely.
And showers outwards.
And it's probably, eventually we see that cut of like that back part of the house from the outside, and then you smash through that door and go out, out onto the lawn and are running. I assume you're running back for the road.
Yeah.
Okay. Maria, you're behind, I assume. You hear that? I assume you're following. Muted.
You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm definitely following. There's not much I can do.
when you get to the road and you can see this kid, Basil's got him. He's bleeding from these cuts on his face. He's clearly been stuck in a hole. You can see he's got that blood coming out of his leg. Do you guys want to take him back to his parents? Do you guys want to take him to a hospital? Do you guys want to get out of here? What do you want to do?
I think this is where the emergency medic does her bit, and then we take him to the hospital.
Yeah, definitely. I try to stop the bleeding and then take him to the hospital because his parents probably aren't going to remember him anyways.
So we do this montage of you guys, driving through the night, looking at Jennifer's luggage in the back of the car as you drive to the hospital, and you get him there and get him bandaged, and you're going along with him. While they're doing that, are you doing anything, Basil? Well, Maria's there taking care of the medical side of things and helping them out, and emergency room, doctors, all that kind of stuff.
So there's not a lot Basil can do to help with all of that kind of stuff. I think, even though he kind of sucks at it. Wait, I've got Jennifer open right now, and that's the reason I was looking at her. Like, how did my research skill get so high? Because I know it sucks. So Basil is in fact still think Google isn't that great, and he's trying to research as much as he can about the creature that they encountered. Well,
let's cut it this way, since I think we're kind of at a climax moment. Probably you calling in to people at Save.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because we've never encountered the organization. Honestly, I don't know what kind of thing there is.
Right.
It is clearly a thing that would have to happen.
It's probably that thing where you contact some other envoys in your network, and they'll say we'll get some people out there. Just keep an eye on the kid. Keep him protected, and you two will probably watch over him for the next day or two, right?
Yeah.
And you wait until that solstice passes, and at some point, some call is made, and the Halls, the parents, and the young daughter will arrive, panic, because now they remember him, and they're freaked out. And Detective Hammond Hagen will show up, and there's the chaos of the parents there and what's going on and so on, and Hagen will pull you two aside and will say, "Where's the other one?"
I swear to God, you didn't tell us about another one.
No, your partner.
Sorry.
Oh, no. Where's your partner at?
She didn't make it.
She's the reason that kid's here in the hospital.
Says the fire department just got called over to Middleburg Heights. Old farmhouse caught on fire. Was that you guys?
Well, those things go up like tinder.
No, we didn't burn the house down. You just need to focus on that kid back there.
Okay. And that thing is out there still somewhere. But you've at least stopped what it did this time at some cost. But this child is alive, thanks to you.
Yeah, but we still have work to do.
Any epilogues, scenes that you want to do, Basil, for your character?
So I think Cole is obsessed with hunting this thing down, like this particular one, and also having a thing to hurt it next time. So there's a whole lot of him actually sitting in libraries, which he doesn't especially care for doing. And while he's sitting there in the dusty rooms, just smacking the hammer against his hand while he's like looking at stuff.
Nice. And Maria, what's the epilogue we see for you?
You see Maria coming home, and she opens the door to her apartment, and her two kids run up, mommy, and she gives them, great big hugs and great big kisses, and the screen fades to black right there.
Awesome. And that's where we're going to stop. That's the adventure. And there's a lot of different ways you could go with that. There's a lot of stuff you guys did, and a lot of stuff that you guys that they have. It's very sandboxy. It's kind of nice that way. So, John, I'm sorry we killed Jennifer, and yet at the same time, that was an awesome death.
Well, horror games. I come from a long Call of Cthulhu tradition, so death is part of them.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. You didn't describe the house as being really super dry. So, but if you had instead of the yelling thing, I was going to do her lighter, because she never lit her cigarette, but she always was playing with her lighter, and doing the dropping the lighter as lit to start a fire as that's the end move.
Well, actually, that's a great epilogue moment. As we, when they're talking about the fire, that we get that shot, that flashback shot to you starting it on fire.
That would be the excellent post credits moment.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, after the credits roll, we see why the fire started. That's perfect. Nice.
Zippo finally clicks, dink, and drops.
Catch it, and it is dry because there's no water in the house.
In the middle of summer.
Yeah.
She's a witch. You destroy her with water. I didn't even think. There you go.
There are a couple of substances that can do that.
Yeah. We should have brought squirt guns.
Well, we didn't really get to the dryness other than the summer up until we were in the house. So
yeah.
Mostly what we got was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, was there significance to the dead animals in the trees?
No. Well, if you'd had a chance to look around, you probably would have found a lot of birds' nests broken there, and a lot of eggs smashed. The witch actually has two vulnerabilities. One is essentially eggs, which is why the neighbor's coop was smashed. And then water is the other one, which is why all the piping and stuff was taken out of the house and things were shut off to keep there being any water actually inside the house. So there is a little bit, but it's more of a really horrible, creepy detail than anything.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of not enough information to go on beforehand to be prepared.
Yeah. No, and it's that's always a tough thing with a one shot where they've got very specific stuff. We should actually do Roses and Thorns now, if you guys don't mind. We'll do a quick round of that.
Sure.
And I will say that I think one of my thorns would be I think with a scenario like this, I'm used to being a little more flexible. I would have liked maybe a couple other options for weaknesses that could have worked in. That would have allowed me to kind of give more trails. They were pretty concrete. They've got a lot of stuff where they've got investigation rolls, perception rolls, and you get X information, which is always kind of tough. Thorns, Jason?
About
the game, about how I ran, about how it resolved.
Yeah, no. Well, we talked a little bit about edges and drawbacks. I think I have two thorns. One is that since I was using Ebola, most of the time I would have rather been entangling than hurting.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure that the rules are flexible enough to cover that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to handle that, and that's a good question.
And the other thing is that we worked real hard at being sneaky last time, and it was a little bit frustrating to have that immediately count for nothing and take wounds. Like we made really good rolls with no light, but admittedly, there's our supernatural creatures, so they're not really bound by me making good rolls.
But we ended on that note where you guys had that goof up, and that set off the phone, which was essentially the thing I was responding to with that. But no, okay. I see what you mean. Especially because I didn't, bring that back around at the start of the session. I can see where that would absolutely. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And I'm always bummed to see a player character. Like, I was trying to get us all out so I could set fire to the house. So I hate seeing a character go down. But as John said, it is the fine tradition of horror gaming that somebody gets left behind, and then setting the house on fire is pretty badass.
And that was me. So, because I knew that there was a thing in there that, you can do that to avoid death. But I was like, because it is a 2-shot, this is the ending, it's like, hey, have a death. And it gives you guys still get to keep the points for the escape if you needed it.
Any thorns, John?
Well, I mean, limited to seeing, what we're seeing. Just the quick start aspect. It's a very basic game, just a success game. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's really a thorn. I don't know if it's really a thorn, but I was like looking at my things like all I can do really is talk or shoot a bow, and the bow kind of seems silly, but that was about it's like, and it always takes a token to do anything with the special ability. Mm-hmm. So that's a really minor thing. I like has already been said. I would like to know exactly what the edges do, but that's a very minor.
No, I think that's super fair. I mean, I'm trying to find what makes this compelling to me. Is there something here that would make me go do this over another horror game? And I'm not sure I found anything yet. That's the tech that convinces me. Very
specific telepathic sending, which is I have 2 abilities, and that seems super like, when is this useful? Because it's all it is you talk to something in their head, but you have to. It has to be line of sight, can't be blocked. So once the door was blocked, I couldn't talk to them. It's like, that seems like maybe a phone works better for most everything.
It's a little wonky, especially when you can text and stuff too. So Pat, any thorns?
No, not really. Like, as far as the mechanics are concerned, I think damage in it is pretty harsh. As it applies to your rolls to try to get out of the situation. It seems like damage is pretty brutal in this game. Mm-hmm. But I think the main thing was like the thorns was I really didn't get to see you use the black tokens.
Yeah.
I wanted to see how those kind of worked out.
Yeah, I will admit I ended up, I didn't have that many, and then when I got to the end scene, essentially they were just powering her attack abilities. So yeah, that you're right. That felt a little limited.
Killed me with them.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be a cliche when we get to the Roses side, but I really enjoyed your characters. I really did. Good stuff. I like what you did with them. Nice. Love Maria, the family stuff. I loved Jennifer, the little tick with the cigarette. I love Basil, and it being Basil, not Basil, and focusing in on that. So I enjoyed that very much. So that's sort of my Rose. Jason?
I'm going to try and narrow it down to a few roses. I do think that it was a evocatively creepy thing, both in how the servitors look and how the woman was and how the little details. If the whole point is to be creepy as heck, it's very effective in that.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, I also enjoyed the characters. And I had an idea from the point where I read the character sheets that if somebody played Maria, that Maria would be the leader. And I'm so happy that that's how that worked out.
Oh, good.
Because I think the three of them work together a pretty team, and now duo again. Sad to say.
No, good synergy. Good synergy.
Yep.
John, roses?
Well, we'll go with what Jason already covered. Just gonna agree. The investigation, the slow burn creepiness of the interviews and the forgetfulness, that was nicely done. Knowing really gives you like, oh yeah, it's not all normal, and that's super. And all the people became creepy through normalcy. And then there was the transition to full-on horror once we got in the woods, or actually once they got in the woods with the animals and the servitor, all that was full-on. Whoa, no, that's not nice horror. So it's, like, woo. So that was all good. The players were great. Maria was super. I thought Jason was doing amazing when I was picking on him for Crocodile Dundee.
It was a good exchange.
He rolled with that nicely. So those are mine.
Awesome. Pat?
Of course, I agree with everything that's already been said. Speaking of Crocodile Dundee, I particularly like that banner between John and Jason, because it kind of like drew something out of my character, which was being motherly and trying to get y'all to stop arguing with each other.
Nice.
By the way, I would just like to point out on Jennifer's behalf that yet another one of BB's missions ends up with somebody dead.
Oh,
But there weren't any pistols, so that was.
But I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I thought y'all two did a good job on that, because it was very natural. I like the setting. The fact that it was so creepy, but yet it's happening in, everyday Ohio. It's not in some, creepy town where everybody's creepy. It's localized to, that could have taken place in, any neighborhood.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in this scenario, and I think you're right about having it being very ordinary, and that the thing about them forgetting is probably my favorite detail from the scenario. I think that's a really, really neat touch. Thank you guys very much for trying this out with me. I just wanted to give this a chance because I hadn't played Chill before, and I appreciate you guys taking a chance on it with me. I enjoyed running for you, and hopefully I get to play with you guys again sometime soon.
All right, man.
Had a great time.
I'm going to stop the broadcast and say
Thanks for
goodnight.
playing, everybody.
Thanks much.